What's good, people? Thank you for tuning to the Payout Podcast, chilling with your host, Trouble. Today's date, April 28th, 2026, Tuesday. Got 3 games on deck. Pivotal games, good games. Got some do or die games, and we got some games pretty much whoever wins going to retake control of the series. We got Philly versus Boston, we got Atlanta versus New York, and we got Portland versus San Antonio. So let's go ahead and get to it. Now, the first game we're going to look at, Philly versus Boston. Boston up 3-1 head-to-head last 10. Boston 7-3 straight up last 10. Boston 5-4-1 against the spread last 10, and the under is 6-4 last 10. Now, Philly 4-2 against the spread last 6. 2-6 against the spread last 6 versus the Atlantic, and 5-2 against the spread last 7 on Tuesdays, and they're 24-18-1 against the spread away from home overall. Now, Boston is 11-4 against the spread last 15. 7-1 against the spread last 8 at home. 10-3 against the spread last 13 in April, and 24-19 against the spread at home overall for the season. Now, my personal line for this game is Boston -7. Vegas opened up Boston -11.5. I'm going to go ahead and roll with the underdog plus 11.5 to fight for the season. Obviously, it's probably most likely going to be over for Philly after this game. If they can pull it out miraculously, they've already beat them as a big dog on the road, but I think that was, how can you call it, just an outlier. But 11.5 points is a lot for a team. Philly's not the bottom of the rung. I think that they have enough firepower to, obviously they got blown out by more than this at home, but plugging Joel Embiid like that into that lineup to me kind of shocked them a little bit, kind of took the roles out of a couple players. Paul George had a little fire going, BJ not so much. Edgecombe needs to show up, man. They just missing one player not showing up. Obviously Maxey did not show up last game. He had a horrible first half. Second half, but they needed a full game from Maxey. And B gave you his 20 and 10, but he just kind of dragged the game, just him plugging him in. But if he comes back this game, I think they should have a little bit more oomph in them, a little bit more boom in them. I think that Paul George should be able to show up at least to give them what he gave them last game. Hopefully the rookie can get a couple of them threes to fall, because he's had his last 2-3 games, I've seen him go 0 for and damn near 0 for 10. So it's tough right now. But I'm going to go ahead and take Philly. Hopefully we get Boston out the GBS. They've been on fire the last couple games, especially last game. They couldn't miss, man. And shooting a 3 like that is tricky. That's why Boston can lose this game, because they can very well come out and be cold, and Philly can shock them just like game 2. So go ahead and give me Philly plus 11.5. Now, second game, Atlanta, New York, series tied 2-2, pivotal game back to the Garden, Madison Square Garden. Now, this is going to be a tough game right here, because obviously you got New York going and taking one from Atlanta. I kind of figured that was going to happen. Come back to New York 2-2. Just had the games wrong. Had New York taking game 1. They actually showed up game 2 in Atlanta, which was game 4 for the series. Now, last 10 head-to-head, New York 7-3 straight up last 10. 5-5 against the spread last 10, and the under is 7-3 last 10. Now, Atlanta is 3-7 straight up last 10 versus New York. They're 13-7 straight up last 20 overall, and they're 2-5 against the spread last 7 as an underdog, and they're 24-19 against the spread away from home overall. Now, New York is 7-2 against the spread last 9, 5-1 against the spread last 6 at home, 2-5 against the spread last 7 on Tuesdays, and they're 29-14 against the spread at home overall. Now, New York, my line personal, New York -6. Vegas opened up New York -6.5, so we pretty much right on the head as far as this line. Now, I'm going to go ahead and take the dog in this game to fight to try to at least keep this competitive. Atlanta does play good in the Garden, as we've seen. They did steal one. But I think that Atlanta matches up well with New York. Obviously, New York is better than Atlanta, but I think Atlanta's going to fight to try to get this back home to be able to steal this series. I don't think they will win this game, but 6.5 points, I think they're stretching it. I think this will go down to the wire once again. Honestly, I expect Atlanta to come out and punch New York in the mouth to try to, let them know they're not scared of them. I expect Atlanta in the first half to be a good bet as well. If you give me 3.5, I would take Atlanta first half to come out and try to make a statement early in this game, and I expect New York to try to steal this game late. That's how I see this game playing out. Atlanta early, third quarter, up until about the third quarter, and then New York snaps out of it and shows up and steal this game late, but doesn't cover the 6.5. Now, final game we're covering today is going to be Portland versus San Antonio. San Antonio took control of this series 3-1. Portland missed a great opportunity to take this series, man. They had game 3, no Victor Wembanyama. Had the entire game, pretty much the majority of that game they were winning. Let San Antonio steal that game late. And then game 4, same thing pretty much. First half, up 20 points and get outscored by 40 in the second half. That's crazy. I don't understand what happened with Portland. I think that might have flatlined them as far as this series goes, but let's see what we come up with. Now, last 10, San Antonio 7-3 straight up last 10. San Antonio 6-4 against the spread last 10, and the under is 7-3 last 10. Now, Portland 2-4 against the spread last 6. 1-4 against the spread last 5 versus San Antonio. 5-0 against the spread last 5 on Tuesday, and 21, 22-1 against the spread away from home overall. San Antonio 6-2 against the spread last 8. 12-6 against the spread last 18 in April. 4-1 against the spread last 5 on Tuesdays. 24-18 against the spread at home overall. Now my personal line this game got San Antonio minus 10. Vegas opened up San Antonio minus 12.5. Another game I'm gonna have to roll with the dog in this game, man. I think the dog gonna fight for their season. I'm not saying they're gonna win this game. I don't think they win this game, but 12.5 points for a team that's fighting, to get one more home game. I think Portland can pull this out. San Antonio just wants to win this game. I think this is another game where San Antonio comes out and try to make a statement early. Not saying that they're gonna go, like I say, not saying they're winning this game, but I think they're gonna be in this game. The majority of the game is gonna come down to the wire last 5 minutes. I don't expect Portland to come out here and fold and just lay down, even though they did the second half of that last game. That I don't understand what happened in that locker room. You're up 20 points to be able to tie this series up to guarantee yourself another home game, and I don't know what happened. I'm not on the court, I'm not in the locker room, but Portland, I hope they can show up at this game and fight for this season and understand that this is the last game. They had a decent season, unexpected season, a season with their coach getting arrested and pretty much fired, and everyone wrote them off. So I think they actually showed up more than anyone expected in their situation. They got a couple players that stepped up that they they didn't know what they had. Denny stepped up. Scoot had a decent end of the season. Hopefully they can get shaded and come back next season and play good. I think they have some things they can look forward to. You got Dame coming back, so I think Portland want to go out with a bang, man. I think San Antonio just wants to win this game, so give me Portland plus 12.5. So let's go ahead and recap the games that we're taking today. We're taking all dogs to bark today, man. So let's go ahead and hope the dogs come out on the Tuesday and bark. We got Philly plus 11.5 on the road in Boston. We got Atlanta plus 6.5 on the road at the Garden in New York. And we got Portland plus 12.5 on the road in San Antonio. We got all dogs on the road today, man. We putting our thinking caps on. We putting our confidence in them dogs. So let's go. I want to thank you guys for tuning in today to Total Payout Podcast, chilling with your host Trouble. Please give me a like, comment, and subscribe at the end of this video. I greatly appreciate you guys giving me a couple minutes out your Tuesday. And like I always say, please stay out the way, man. I want to thank you guys once again. Have a great one.
Hey, Rick and Thad.